This week, Demi Moore is on GMA, and she's telling us about her life like we've never heard it before. Today, she talks to Diane about her marriages to Bruce Willis and Ashton Kutcher, and how the old fears from her turbulent childhood caught her by surprise. But we start with a photo session that created a sensation.
In 1991, a Hollywood star decides to take a wrecking ball to the old convention that pregnant women have to be modest. So today, when you look at it,
I love it. I literally thought there's no way they would ever do it. And not because I thought it was like so risque or shocking. And I just was so fascinated with why is it being seen as like obscene?
And in that photo, Demi Moore had started a revolution. In her new memoir, she writes about having children and marriage, and the high-octane charmer Bruce Willis sweeping her off her feet.
Welcome to the party, pal!
They meet, marry, get pregnant in just 4 months, and then the next 10 years together are a blur of rearing 3 daughters, making 33 movies, and drifting toward divorce, determined to put their children first.
I think that we did a magnificent job of making sure that our children knew they were loved.
She even walked away from Hollywood at the height of her career to stay home with her kids at the family house in Idaho. And then 5 years later, she is ready to come back. It's 2003, the new Charlie's Angels movie, and a part has been written for her.
Hello, angels.
Her bravado, her bikini. She is 40 years old. And it's at this point one night she goes to a dinner and meets a young actor and entrepreneur named Ashton Kutcher.
Hi. Laura from Univision.
Nice to meet you.
He's also 25 years old. She writes about the ease, the electricity. And after all the years of fighting her way out of that childhood and to the top of her career, she was ready to take a chance. I was a 40-year-old who had a big life, and Ashton's adult life was just beginning. I didn't see all that because I was inside of it. I just felt like a 15-year-old girl hoping somebody liked me.
That's all true. I think that I had been responsible for so much of my life. And all of a sudden this window opened up where I was safe, I had money, he loved my children. It wasn't something he feared. He seemed to be comfortable with the enormity of the ex-husband. I mean, you know, I felt like I was not coming with baggage, I had trunks.
Though she points out that even though she is 15 years older than Ashton, her ex-husband Bruce Willis will marry someone 23 years younger, and no one says a word. Why do you think this culture is still so shocked, unnerved, unsettled by a woman who is 15 years older?
Gosh, I don't know. It's so silly. I think part of it is we've been conditioned societally to look at the value of a woman being tied to her fertility. Like, what would an older woman have to offer?
And then 2 years into her new relationship, at 42, you were pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
6 months, you go in for a checkup.
At almost 6 months.
And you said you will never forget the look on the doctor's face.
You could see combination of his dread and it shifting then immediately into matter-of-fact, practical information. Because it was unquestionable, because there was no heartbeat.
And you tried again. You had in vitro?
Quite a few times. I can't even really bring fully to words how lost, empty, desperate, confused. I really lost sight of everything that was right in front of me, which is the family I had. And I think the weight that it put on Ashton, it's kind of a natural thing to pull back when somebody's, clinging too tight.
Clinging, she says, because she had begun falling back into her old childhood fear of not being wanted, of losing everything. And after 20 years of sobriety, she starts drinking again, and more. And then enter Vicodin. 12 pills a day?
Yeah, it definitely got up there.
After she and Ashton Kutcher had been together for 8 years, she's celebrating a film she's directed. You get a Google alert?
Yes.
She called him. What did you say to him?
I asked if it was true. And he admitted it right away. And I think my response was, "Are you kidding me?" That was it. And I think I felt like I could barely take a breath.
But she has to walk the red carpet, and here she is at that moment, 1,000 light bulbs flashing.
I really know that there are parts of what occurred with this relationship ending that were a level of devastating for me that wasn't really just about that relationship. It was really about my whole life. It was about being the 2-year-old who wasn't safe, that this really represented that I'm not lovable, that I'm not deserving. And that's not about him. That's all just about me.
We reached out to Ashton Kutcher, and his representatives say they are not commenting on the book. And tomorrow, she will tell us the lessons she learned that brought back her work, her family, and the life she loves.
Yeah, I just can imagine getting a Google alert like that and then having to go and face the cameras as she did. Her book, Inside, yeah, very strong woman. Her book, Inside Out, is available today, and as Diane said, we're going to have the final part of her interview with Demi tomorrow, where she talks about the night her daughter called 911 to save her life. You remember that? And the turning point that brings her back to the work, the family, and the life that she loves.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.